Tarana Burke is an African-American civil rights activist with strong feelings toward survivors of sexual violence. She founded the Me Too movement in 2006 after creating a nonprofit called Just Be, which is an all-girls program for young black girls. During this time, Burke met a young girl who told her about being sexually abused by her mother's boyfriend, which left Burke speechless, wishing she could say, "Me too." There was not much talk about Burke's movement until actress and activist Alyssa Milano reignited this movement in 2017 with the following tweet posted on Twitter. "If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too as a reply to this tweet." Suggested by a friend, if all the women who have been sexually harassed or assaulted wrote Me Too as a status, we might give people a sense of the magnitude of the problem. Milano's tweet invited other actresses like Sophia Bush and Gabrielle Union and singers like Lady Gaga to respond with their own Me Too tweets, acknowledging that they were also victims of sexual violence. The Me Too founder responded with a tweet of her own in an interview on CNN.
The movement, the work that I'm doing and this movement is really about survivors talking to survivors, right? Me Too is about using the power of empathy to stomp out shame. And so we need to keep talking about it, right? It doesn't need to be, I appreciate the hashtag and I appreciate the hashtag elevating the conversation, but it's not a hashtag, right? It's not a moment. This is a movement. The reason why people didn't know my name is because people don't think about this unless there is something big happening. So what needs to happen is that we need to stop just popping up when somebody famous does something, and we need to really look at the numbers, look at the people, look at the survivors, and think strategically.
Social workers have a significant responsibility in advocating and empowering individuals. In the Me Too movement, social workers should be working within the micro and macro level of intervention. At the micro level, social workers should approach the survivors of sexual violence to make sure each individual's story is heard and healing can begin. At the macro level, social workers should be advocating alongside activists like Burke and Milano. During all aspects of interventions, social workers must adhere to the National Code of Ethics, in which it says that all social workers should engage in social and political action that seeks to ensure that all people have equal access to the resources, employment, services, and opportunities they require to meet their basic human needs and to develop fully. In the We Stand Up coalition, created by social workers and activists, the focus is to inspire hope to individuals, showing how their efforts can create lasting changes, to create change and stand up against abuse and violence, empower individuals, and to challenge organizations and individuals in communities to stand up. So, what are the effects of the Me Too movement since it went viral in 2017? From its origins in the U.S., the impact of the movement spread rapidly, with millions of women around the world sharing their own stories of rape, assault, and harassment in the workplace. The women mostly exchanged familiar stories and knowing looks. Surprise was the domain of men. "I knew it happened, but I had no idea it was this bad," was a common sentiment. It broke out of the US in social media. In Spain it became Yo tambien. In France it became Balance ton porc, which is roughly translated as expose your pig. And even Italy, Israel, China, it grew rapidly. The Me Too backlash began throwing up ethical questions and the credibility of a woman's legitimate demand. Numerous prominent women, mostly from older generations, such as actress Catherine Deneuve, have accused the movement becoming puritanical. They are arguing that the campaign had gone too far and was fueled by a hatred of men. The movement has also created tensions between the workplace and women's roles within. A divide has also formed between men and women over what is to be believed a Twitter feud. We need to resolve the divide between men and women, and here are some options specifically for men and then women. Men can read and follow feminist writers such as Lindy West. signal boost female voices throughout the internet and at work. Be mindful of how you introduce women and give extra space, especially after dark. And for my fellow ladies, one woman can make a difference, but together we can rock the world and become the silence breakers.